There we are. Hey. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody who's not here.
I know.
So we'll
But we'll
just
wait
talk.
for some people get in and then we'll introduce ourselves.
Oh, I just saw the notice. The notice just came out.
Okay.
So, how would we know if can you
But you
see
know,
if there's people or do I get to see that too? I don't even know. I I'm such a
where do
professional.
you do that at?
I've been in here like a few times and I thought, "Oh, no one's here anyway." But there's a chat and
I see the
when I was
chat.
hosting, I could see everything that was going on. I could see if there was like lurkers or
I don't see a number. Where is that?
maybe there's nobody and that's why.
I didn't see it last week either.
Oh yeah.
So,
So
hey, Haley.
Haley's here. See, I don't see that.
Haley's here.
Let me go to the chats.
You right on time, girlie.
Oh hi. I see Donna said that. Hi Haley, how's it going? Now and
I
Donna
think
said
you're the
can't.
only person here, Haley. How about that? So I don't see a number, Susie.
I don't either.
Oh, I see. It
You,
says two. Hi, Rebecca.
Rebecca's here too.
Rebecca's
Where
here
does it say
too.
the number that I could tell? I
It
can't
says
tell.
it over. It says it over my head. It has an eyeball and it has two.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have the eyeball. I have no balls.
Can you see those on the? Oh, but you don't have it on regular
I
chat.
have no
So,
balls.
are you
No
guys off
balls.
today?
Good morning, Rebecca. Becky.
Becca.
Becca. Are you related to Dawn?
I
You
remember
must
that. That was
be. Trust
so
me.
sad. I am so sorry, Becca, that I did that to you
I know
that
she's gonna say
day.
it every week. She was so sorry. She told me 100 times. So she really felt bad that she thought.
Unfortunately, not. She doesn't know me. Oh no. Oh, you no. You're not working. Or you're working. I don't know what question you're answering, Becca.
I think she was answering me. Are you related by marriage? Oh,
Oh my
and I
god.
keep seeing chats popping up. I gotta like keep that on. I am. She's working.
You're working, Haley, and
She is
Becca's not working. Got
okay.
it. That
Now,
might be wrong.
what Haley? What do you do? What are you doing working? Or if you don't want to say, you don't have to. It's fine. You could say, I refuse to answer on the grounds that it's none of your business. Nanya.
My husband says that a lot. Nanya.
We can like we can ask all these personal questions now because when you're like on a interview, you kind of show people just get right down to it. They'll say.
You're right. You're right.
I wanted to talk to you about some of the
Oh,
current
well,
events.
Becca's working and Haley's off,
Oh, okay.
and they work at the same place, just in different
Oh,
departments. I won't say in case y'all don't want me to say.
okay. Well, I was trying to see the nighttime parade of the Mardi Gras because there was a lot of live cameras,
Hmm.
and I ended up just getting some live feeds from Bourbon Street. And let me tell you, after seeing that, there's no way that I'd ever want to go
Yeah,
because all
it's
there
wall to
were,
wall people.
it was wall to wall drunk people with light up clothes and people in the balconies yelling at them and then music is blaring and I think it's I don't know if it's coming from houses or from bars
From bars.
and there was like two people doing like the merengue in the middle of everything or the salsa dance and I'm like what is that?
They do have Family Gras in Metairie,
Okay.
which is like right outside of New Orleans, pretty much, and that's where most of people with families go. But yeah,
I
the Bourbon Street, French Quarter, that can all get crazy, crazy.
during the day they had um a drag queen parade and they were like one of the guys who was does walking tours he put on his sequin blazer and he wanted to go see that and that was fun to see like live people in the street and they were like posing with their grand costumes and
Uh-huh.
that was
They
really
have a
fun to look at.
contest. They have a
Yeah,
contest. Yeah.
like who's
And
the
some of it can
biggest
get
drag.
very risque. So,
Oh, well, I wouldn't
yeah,
have minded seeing that either, just for the hell of it. But
right.
I mean, I lived in New York City and gone to the Halloween parade, and I imagine it's pretty similar because it was down in the village, and I'm gonna say probably 80% were flamboyant costumes worn by men to get a lot of attention, and their butts were hanging out.
Right. You're right. You're right.
And
Becca says they don't mind me saying where they work. So they work at Winn-Dixie.
okay.
Haley works in the deli, and Becca works in seafood.
And every time I hear that supermarket chain, I think of that dog, that cute dog movie.
Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, that was
You
so.
know, I sold one of those when
What?
I first started selling. I sold one,
You sold like a
a plush,
copy?
a plush
Oh, a
called
plush.
Winn-Dixie. Yeah.
I wanted a dog that looked like that, but I could never find. I mean, I couldn't really find one. I mean, I scoured the petfinder.coms, and then when one of the groups, they made it so complicated. I had to fill out like a 6-page application. They wanted to do a home visit, and they needed all the vet records from all of my pets that have lived and died. And I thought it is easier to get a child from than this. And then they wanted
Right.
$700, and I said, if I'm paying $700 to you, I'm going to get the dog of my dreams and pay a breeder. I mean, it was. I mean, it's hard to say that it was more, but it was like it was pretty much the price of that economic stimulus check. But I still, I still got my dog. But people were like getting down on me. I've had 2 adopted dogs. I've adopted a lot of birds. And I it's not that I'm not pro mills. I don't believe in buying them at a storefront,
Mhm.
but um,
There's a lot of reputable breeders out there.
yeah, and and every dog needs a home, no matter what, no matter where it came from.
Right.
So whatever people do to get their companion animals, that's
Mhm.
fine. I mean, as long as they keep them companion animals, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haley and Becca has a Dotson called Paisley, and they call her Pee Pee. And I tease them and I tell them, you watch the Shrek movie?
The what
Man,
movie?
the Shrek movie.
Oh,
Shrek. Have you ever
I,
watched it where he
I
makes like big balloons out of like like animals? I tell
no,
them that's what Paisley
I have
looks like because
I don't
she's overweight.
I've never seen it from like start to finish, honestly. And I thought it was funny, the scenes I've seen, but
And
I
then
have the
they
I
have
have the
Charlie.
I was gonna say I have the attention span of a gnat, so pretty
Yeah, me
much.
too.
And or I'm very very interested and I fall asleep 15 minutes before the end. That is classic move on my
Yeah,
behalf. And then I have to replay pretty much the whole thing because if I'm falling asleep, I don't remember anything. I
I
have
don't.
a very bad short-term memory.
I do
It's
not.
dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll remember things easier from like when I was in high school, probably. I mean, except for the high school kids, I don't remember any of them. They don't look the same anymore, and they'll try
Uh-huh.
to friend me, and I'll be like, "Who the hell are you? I don't know. I don't know who you are."
Exactly. Exactly. But they also have another dog called Charlie, and
Charlie,
Charlie is a Chihuahua mix,
oh,
I
that's
think.
nice.
Correct
I
me if
heard
I'm
that
wrong, guys.
dachshunds like to lay under covers. They like to burrow, and
I think Paisley's always on them when they're laying or sitting with their blankets.
well, I never expected Norton to get so big, and he licks constantly. So my nickname for him is Licky Ricardo. And Roxy drools at every time it rains, so I call her Drooly Andrews. So they're so silly. I'm silly. Look at Precious. Precious is joining.
She
Hi,
said, yes, they
Precious.
do. Precious is like stuck to me like glue, like she won't move. And Bella is in my bed, like the princess she thinks she is.
Well, she's a princess. She is.
Yes.
I mean, but how could you resist that little cute face,
Becca says, yeah,
Precious?
Kiki loves blankets. Let's see if I could do this.
So I see. So 2 people are kind of watching, uh, for sure.
It says 3 people are watching, so I'm not sure who else is here. Oh, it
Ooh.
might be me on my phone.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe we have a lurker, and then
Oh.
I'm like, if people aren't gonna watch, we could just
No,
like,
I don't have it on my phone actually.
oh, so there's somebody. It's like reveal yourself, reveal, say hi.
Right. It's like, hello, lurker.
Well, they could be. I think that when we did the first broadcast on my station, there was someone who had a weird name, and they're not. All their comments disappeared from the chat. So I don't know if they were actually a troll that just decided to be nice and not troll us.
Right. Haley just to.
Okay. Well, what can you do? I mean, you'll hear your mom talk to her friend who lives in New Jersey. It sounds like she's from New York because she's from New York, and that's me. I'm talking to myself in the third person.
I hear
So,
Norton fussing in the background.
yeah,
Norton.
Nerton needs to go poop, and his daddy is ignoring him. So Haley sees 2, and Rebecca sees 3.
I see 3.
I don't see anybody. Now I'm just looking at the chat come up, and it's my screen is dark.
And now I see 1. So, and then there was 1. So I don't know where everybody went to today. I know most of the guys are on their way to the meetup in.
Well, that sounds like fun. I mean, it sounds like they organized it in a way that would be fun. I just honestly, I don't want to stay in a house with strangers, number one. And if I kind of knew them, I would want my own kind of suite where I have a bathroom. So if I get up in the middle of the night, I don't want to get dressed to go pee. I don't mean that like I'd be naked. I just meant I don't want to feel like.
Right. Well, it was really fun. Hi, Harry. Harry Humstone's here.
Hey, Harry. How you doing? He can't stay. He's at work. Yeah, he does these drive-by highs. I remember your phrase.
Well, I'm so glad you came by to say hello, Harry.
Yeah, that's nice. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it.
Yes, definitely. Harry, you know what I found found some insulators while I was shopping. I heard you like those.
Oh so. Yeah, I spilled the beans because I had bought a lot of them, and I paid a fortune of money. However, I'm going to use them finally. I'm going to put them on the tables at my wedding.
Hi, Leon.
Oh, Leon's here. Hi, Leon. How are you?
Leon, isn't it pretty late for you over there?
Is he in Great Britain?
I think so.
Are you in England or Wales or Scotland, or I don't even know. Is Ireland included? I feel bad that I don't even know that if Ireland is included in Great Britain. I think like they were warring. Part of regular Ireland was fighting around with England for a while.
Okay. Let me. So Harry says a lot of them are common, so you got to know what you're looking for, just like any other thing we collect, right? And I don't know a whole lot of anything, and I bought a pretty green one that I liked and a couple white ones, but that was it because they were cheap.
Yeah. I mean, I think I had in the collection, I had a couple big ones and a lot of small ones, and most of them were the probably cheap, crappy white ones. But there were like 2 or 3 that were different colors.
So he says it's 8:13 there in the UK.
Okay. But what country? He could keep it a secret. I'm not going to come and visit anyway, probably for when I went to the UK.
History lesson.
I went to the UK in. I feel so old.
That'd be geography lesson.
Listen to this. I went in the 80s. It sounds like so long ago. And when I say things like I went in the 80s and people are born in the 90s or the 2000s, I feel like an old fart. But, I am. Right. So what am I going to do?
I got married in the 80s, so we're going to be 40 years. Woo.
That's fantastic, I think. I mean, as long as if you still like each other and you get along, I think you do. I see you in the same room. That to me is proof that you could stand each other.
That's right.
When I was in my last relationship, we never were in the same room. So it was like, I knew it was not good.
So Harry says the clear ones are probably usually $1 a piece. a lot of ceramic ones are also about $1, maybe two.
Oh, I thought, okay, I think I had one ceramic one, and I was thinking that was the one that was going to get me at least $10 back. However, I don't know if I had bought them to sell or just I envision having like a glass shelf somewhere in a window that I could put plants and glass things, and I just thought it would be really fun if I could, like, I want to be like one of those old people that at least displays all their junk. But here I don't, in the Bronx I had all these ways to hang stuff and put it on the walls, and I had like shelving units, and in this house I just don't. So everything just piles up, or I keep it in a box, and that's no fun.
The things I have displayed are mostly stuff that I'm reselling. So my curio cabinet is filled with stuff that's for sale.
my my china cabinet has a lot of things that I bought at auctions from my friends on YouTube that I don't really need or want. But at the time I thought, oh, I'll help them out and buy that. It's kind of cool. And then I get it home
Mhm.
and I'm like, why did I buy that?
Right, right.
Like, okay.
Hey,
And
I was telling Suzy that in the past I used to collect unicorns and then they all became horses because there was a certain little boy who used to break the horns off.
oh, isn't it sad? Well, I'm fine. How are you? I'm doing better. I mean, I'm doing okay. We'll pray that my stomach is good for the rest of the show. I'm not going to go into details, but anyway, both keeping a day. That's probably British for how are you doing?
Yes, we're both pretty good. Are you baking anything good today, Leon?
I think I was in Kent.
And Becca, are you putting anything good on the grill today? Just,
Mm,
inquiring minds want to know.
I haven't used my grill in years.
Oh, Becca, they have one of those grills. Is it a something stone, brown stone, or something like that? Anyway, they have one on sale for $60 at that dollar store. No bacon today.
I'm tempted to bake every day, and then I go to the kitchen and I say, nah,
I know.
I'm okay. I don't need to bake. But I used to love baking. I was the family baker. I used to make pies and cakes. And I wasn't, I was so young when my mom let me do this that I told you I never really read some of the recipes through. And I used to, my mom would, I tried to make bread with like dead yeast and I still went through with it and it became like hockey pucks or
Oh
doorstops.
wow. Yeah, that can be pretty heavy.
It was so bad. I mean, they would look kind of pretty when they came out, but it was like, what is this? It's not edible.
And then they flopped. Right.
Mm.
Hear ya. I was supposed to
So
make some brownies last night and then I got tired and I didn't.
we didn't have YouTube back then or the internet.
Right.
So we had to do it old school and like get a book. And if the recipe was written wrong, you were I heard that Martha Stewart doesn't test out her recipes and they always don't work. I mean,
So yeah.
she's
Becca
smoking
said,
some pork butts, yummy.
yeah, pork butts.
But smoking. So would you use the smoked butt just for food or do you like cut it up and use it like for I would flavor soups and stews with smoked meat.
They
But cuz
usually cuts it in slices and eat it that way. Am I right, Becca?
all right, Harry. Have a good day, Harry. I'm sorry I interrupted your question, but
All
oh,
right.
he's leaving.
Harry, take care. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Do you know how big of a lag we have now? Because sometimes, we ask
It's
some.
about a minute because I
How
have
many minutes?
10:19 and his comment was at 10:18.
Okay.
Not bad at all.
So,
Oh, she shreds it for barbecue.
oh, okay. Oh, that sounds good. I
Hmm.
mean, because like there's two different schools. Like if I buy something previously smoked, it tastes so salty for some reason in the counter, and it's hard like a rock. So, like if I buy a smoked butt that's been smoked, already done, I
Mhm.
actually asked the butcher to cut it in half, if he can, so I could put like half in a soup, and it'll make the soup taste smoky, which is
Right.
nice. But
She buys it raw and then smokes it herself. She has a smoker.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I would probably want that. I wanted to have like a barbecue wedding, and then have
Shoot, we could have just brought Becca down there to barbecue.
I know.
She
It's
makes
like
delicious barbecue.
she could make a lot of money if she decided to cater my wedding, because I would pay.
Get some hey Victoria.
Is Victoria here? Hi. How are you doing, Victoria?
Are you on the road? You and Larry?
Oh, yeah. She's with Larry. You know, I'm jealous that you guys are going to have so much fun, and I'm going to be up here like just taking a dog out to pee and throwing a ball, and then he like comes and drops it in my lap.
Larry said hi too. Hey Larry.
Hi, Larry. How's
He's
it
too
going?
lazy to get his phone. Aw, Larry.
Larry was giddy today, and he was so happy to be by Victoria. It's sweet.
Well, I
It was
lost
like,
my feed, so I couldn't. I lost
oh,
the thing. Yeah.
that's too bad. I mean, I just noticed he seemed like happy. He seems very happy.
Is Todd going with y'all? There goes the other dog.
Oh, I hear squeaking downstairs. So usually,
oh, you haven't left yet. Oh, that's right, because it's near you guys, right? Like, how far is it from your house, Victoria?
She lives on the edge of Jacksonville, but it's probably, what was it, like an hour away for her?
I think Jacksonville is like 6 hours for us.
Swamp Picker,
Hey,
Glenn. Hi,
How are you,
Glenn.
Glenn? She said she's an hour away. Todd has to work today. He'll be over on the weekend.
Okay. That's nice. I mean, it's nice when people could do activities together. I'm not so sure that my fiance would enjoy some of, like, especially if it was dumpster diving or thrift shopping.
Mm-hmm.
He would come to a thrift shop, and he always says he doesn't want to go, but then he shops around anyway. My camera is angled, so if I look like half of my head is bigger than the other, it's an optical illusion. I feel like one of my eyes this one looks much bigger than the other. Anyway.
Bella came to say hi, but she's like, I had enough of this, and she left.
Who said that?
Bella. She came.
Bella.
She put her head on my leg and she left.
Oh.
So.
Like, how's it going to be a doghouse if there's no
Suzy,
dog?
Glenn says hi.
Hi, Glenn.
So, Glenn, you're not going either, right? So, we're both going to miss it. They're just going to miss out on our spaghetti. That's all I have to say.
Oh, you made the spaghetti?
Glenn and I worked in the kitchen that night.
Oh, that's nice. I made spaghetti when I was in the UK, and they thought it was the greatest thing they ever had. And it was so funny to me because I'm thinking, I just made like a pasta with meat sauce. And they were like, I put garlic in it, and extra garlic, salt, and pepper. That's all they had in their cupboard. So, I mean, it was really like basic. And they were like, oh, it's so good. And I'm like, the restaurants must really stink. If that was the best thing, like, they thought it was so great. Anyway.
Becca likes spaghetti.
Tony loves spaghetti. Oh, yeah.
Is Tony Italian?
Tony is a mutt of like various Eastern. I mean, okay, there's Irish, and I think he said, like, this is sad. I think there's Czech when there was Czechoslovakia, but he also talks about like Romanian or like near Transylvania relatives, and I have Romanian Romanian relatives too. Oh. So, but his sister is like very much into the fact that she's Irish, so she posts all these things all the time, and I said, I didn't even know you guys were Irish at all. Like, I'm thinking, why is she always thinking she's Irish? And he goes, a little part Irish. Tony doesn't like social media, And so he never posts. Everybody says hi, like happy birthday to him on his page. And even when I do, I said, I don't even know why I'm bothering, because he only looks at it once every like 5 years. So it, it's funny to me. And I told him, I remember I told you this. I said, if I ever pass away, please go on my Facebook page via your Facebook page and tell people I'm dead, so they don't think I ghosted them. But I really would have been a ghost at that point.
Oh God, that's funny. Leon wants to know what part of the UK.
Oh, we took a boat, and I think we landed. We were from Holland. We took a boat over, and it said Liverpool Station, and I'm going to assume it was outside of London, and I wasn't actually in Liverpool. And then we took a train to Scotland. But before we took the train to Scotland, we did a little drive around, and I think we went to Ely and Kent, and there was a shore air, like there was a seashore area that we were near, and we were staying in like a nunnery, like
I'm
it
sorry,
was a
y'all.
big mansion that used to belong to the church, but they turned it private. And these people that my friend knew, well, it was her aunt, I think, they bought it, and there were so many fields outside. They said, "Oh, we're getting sheep," and they asked me to pick vegetables in their vegetable garden, which was the size of my whole house. And I didn't really, I was like, what do they look like when they're in the ground? Like, so I had to try to go back. So I was like pulling out things like, and oh, it's a parsnip. And I was sticking it back in, which I don't think you could do, because she asked for carrots and stuff. But I had fun. And we went, there was a big cathedral, and we went to a organ concert there. But I think it was Eli. He lives in Kent. I thought Kent was near there. So I thought maybe that their these people had a boat, and I think that was around Kent. But so I don't know. And then I took a bus back to London, so I passed through a whole lot of stuff. The funniest thing I thought that happened was the bus stopped, and all of a sudden we were like, why aren't we moving? There was a herd of sheep on the road, and they had to go out and shoot them. And I'm like, well, that doesn't happen in New York.
Wow, I bet
Yeah,
that was fun.
it was really fun, actually. I wish I was like a real photo buff then, like I
Right.
am now, but I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Hi,
Hi,
Regina.
Jeffrey. Jeffrey's here. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, Jeffrey. Thank y'all
Hi,
for coming. I
Regina.
appreciate it.
And hi, Regina.
Regina has the best videos.
Oh yeah.
She
What are
just,
they?
she just has this little calming voice, and she's a reseller.
Okay,
So I'm glad you got to come. Thank you.
that's nice. I appreciate it too, because like we Dawn and I talk to each other no matter what, so we figured we might as well film it and see if anybody wants to listen, and if they have any questions regarding anything, we
Mhm.
might answer them. We
Well, I
might
guess we
not.
can actually officially introduce ourselves, right? Since we have people in here now. So
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm Suzy Woozy, and I have resold. I have done auctions, but I'm more part time. And you are?
I'm
Oh,
Dawn.
should I say I'm from New Jersey at this
Yeah,
point?
go ahead if
Oh,
you want to.
all right. And you, and you, I'm really from New York, but I live in Jersey. Everything rolls west. And you are?
I'm Dawn from Dawn Southern Finds. I live in South Louisiana, as most of you know, and I am a full-time reseller on eBay, mostly eBay, and I do some Etsy and Macari. Not a lot, but some.
Well,
And it's all at the doghouse because the dogs are like
we both have two dogs.
going crazy.
And I was going to say, I still have a Poshmark closet, and I still have a few things on Mercari, but I don't have my alerts on. So
You need to put your alerts on.
I well, I get the dot if I pass by, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
So who else sells them on Macari that's in here? Becca, I think you do a little bit, don't you? And Regina, where do you sell? I think you do eBay, if I'm not mistaken.
I've been to Rhode Island. Sorry. Jeffrey said, do you live in Rhode Island, Jeffrey?
Three
I
states, he said.
I want to tell you a story. I could tell you a story about Rhode Island, by the way, even though you asked that before somebody answers. When I made jewelry um, almost exclusively, one of the first galleries that took my work was in Rhode Island, in Newport, Rhode Island. And I used to go there, like I used to make a trip up to Cape Cod and Rhode Island and come back again. And on the little shore towns, they had a lot of craft um, stores with craftsmen's like jewelry and, ceramics and stuff. So I had my stuff in the window one time when I just went up to visit, and I was so excited because I saw, oh, I made that, and I'm like taking a picture. And I'm like, that's my thing.
Cool. That's
It
cool.
was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Well, we were talking a little bit about Posh because I broke up with Posh, but you were saying, and that was one of the reasons I didn't like it because when you send an offer, you also have to give them an offer on shipping.
That I hate.
And
it's always like $2. It's out of your pocket. I mean, I guess they think like you. I don't mark up stuff enough to be able to afford that. But at this point, I'm pretty much open to offers because I'm saying you can let them have it. I'll just quote Johnny, let them have it. I don't.
And then on Macari, they if you send an offer, if I send you an offer, my next offer has to be so much less than the last offer. So the only way to get past that I've found is just to promote it to everyone. And then it'll just do a small increment promotion. But if I wanted to give you, like 20% off, then my next one would have to be like 25 or 30% off.
All I do is at Macari, if I see somebody's interested in the item, I lower it $1. And then I hope that then they get like an email. Oh, that thing you looked at is now cheaper. Right. And then I've seen people even make it higher again, and then they go do it again because I get offers like that as well, or emails like that.
Yeah.
And one person on Mercari was using my photographs for my item because I could tell how I photographed it. And I said, oh, where'd you get that picture? And they said, oh, off the internet. I never let on that it was my photography. But I heard that they're really
wants to know if you're missing one of your earrings.
No, my ears are so weirdly flat to my head that that you can't even tell that I have earrings on.
Those are pretty.
Thank you. Thanks. I figured they're sort of. I'm kind of bohemian. I like I forgot what like peasant clothes, hippie clothes, that kind of stuff. I'm dressing like that on my wedding, like kind of hip. I have like a hippie dress. It's not like one of those fancy, froofy, puffy wedding dresses. It almost looks like a summery, lacy dress.
Right. I think it's going to be very pretty.
I hope so. I'm wearing boots. I
love that. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, because she's laughing. That's funny. Yeah, and I made Tony get matching shoes because he said he was gonna get a formal suit. You can't wear a formal suit. You have to wear a more casual kind of suit. I mean, I don't want him to look like a schlub, but but I mean, you have to rise to the occasion a bit. Like his sister was saying, you're getting married in a barn? I go, no, we're getting married in the field and the reception's in a barn. And she said, so that means I don't have to dress up? I said, dress accordingly. It's my wedding and there will be photography. If you feel comfortable. I'm like, what was she asking for permission to wear a bathing suit? I don't really know. Wow. But it's like, if people, I just sort of thought people would wear like a sundress, not, it doesn't have to be fancy cocktail party clothes, but some kind of rising to the occasion would be
Right.
nice.
Exactly. Did you see what Victoria put? You will
No.
be a beautiful bride no matter what you wear, Suzy.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet.
And she put you, not he. You will be a beautiful bride. I thought you were trying to be funny, Victoria.
He will
Dang.
be.
She keeps text voicing that stuff.
My predictive typing, I can't, my fingers don't work that great, and it's so all over the board that like things I write, and then I'm like, oh no, I have to back up and like and say, I go, oh, I was typing Tony's name last night and it came out agony, and I'm like, that's a weird coincidence. I don't consider him agonizing. Agony wants to do it.
Oh God, that's funny.
It was funny because I guess they got the O and Y, and then they're like, oh. Whatever letter or number is next to the one I want to put, it usually is the one my finger hits. I think it goes by like my keyboard is like heat conductive and
Right.
whatever.
Right. So Victoria, we were talking about what were we talking about?
We were talking about the meetup. Oh, Amazon and
Amazon. And I still haven't made it to your videos, Victoria. I'm so sorry, but we were talking about selling on Amazon, and I was telling Suzy, I know I can't sell what I sell because I sell vintage glass, so I would have to go for more, I guess,
new objects,
new items, yeah. So,
but it's kind of exciting. I'm curious how the people say. I've seen like ads where they say they drop ship from other companies, and I'm curious.
That's the law, the Amazon law or the eBay law. Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised, like how do they get away with that? Because I've bought stuff on eBay and it's come from Amazon, and because like people have Prime, so it's free shipping, I suppose, and they'll just mark it up like $10. And now I know to double check, but a lot of people don't.
Right.
But it's harder to do a return that way as well.
Right. I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I guess anything's fair. I mean, who is talking to us? Debbie said that she buys stuff from Walmart and then she'll just list it for hire, like Pioneer Woman stuff. So, all of those, you got canisters that were Pioneer Woman, go high.
Yeah. I think I listed them for about $15 is what they're going for on eBay. So they are new like retail arbitrage. So and then they were afraid of me because my sister-in-law gave them to me.
Well, you won't lose any money selling those. That's
right,
for sure.
Right.
Anything free is like, okay.
Sweetheart for sending me those, definitely. And then, I have a friend who sends me things or tells me to come pick up things when they're cleaning out. So that's nice of them to think of me before Goodwill. So I appreciate that.
I do too. I have all my friends always stay close to me. And then lately they heard that I was, I have like 3 full rooms of stuff. So they're tapering off. But one of the girls who does it, like she shops at nice stores. I hate to say it like that. My other friend hands me like Walmart stuff, which I buy myself, but reselling wise, it doesn't lend you, you don't get like, if you have a, whatever they call it, Time and True shirt, you're not going to get as much as the stuff from Land's End or
exactly
Bloomingdale's.
I like some of that Time and True stuff. It's very comfy.
I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. I wear all summer long because I have a muddy yard. I'm in those like plastic shoes from Time and True because they look like, you can throw them in the sink.
Yes.
And that's great.
And wash them out.
Yeah.
I have a fly flying in front of me. Anyway, that's funny. So back to the meetup.
Okay.
So what y'all gonna be dumpster diving?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Donna was bringing 2 grabbers, and other people have. I actually
Rebecca, have a great day.
She's leaving.
She's going to work.
All right, have fun.
Have fun. Like she's going somewhere good.
Well, oh, Victoria had a phone call, so she didn't hear that we were talking about the meetup,
We
and
would. Yeah. Go ahead.
there's gonna be dumpster diving, so we were excited about that.
So,
I can't wait to
Victoria,
see
did
it.
you get all the good tips from Kathy?
Well, she said I heard them this morning. I'm gonna say this that they said, "Will you make?" I think Greg asked, "Would you make food from the dumpster?" And she's like, "No." But I'm thinking if I found like a few bags of sealed up candy, I would eat it. You know, if you
Yeah.
have to break a bag open and then break out like another thing, another seal, I would feel comfortable eating
Mm-hmm.
that. But if I just found a pizza like laying arbitrarily in a
No,
dumpster,
right,
I would.
right. If it was
I'm like,
something sealed and not like way out of date or anything, of course.
yeah. I mean, I watched this girl. Her name is Breathcast instead of breakfast, and she dumpster dives. And she said she and her husband ate out of the pizzeria dumpster constantly because they were throwing away pizzas in the box. And
Okay.
I guess they pre-made them. It would must have
Either
been
that or they made too many or the wrong
like
kind,
like a
maybe.
Little Caesars kind of thing. And
Yeah.
so she says, and then one time I see her like she's sitting there and she found a banana and she's like munching on her. She goes, "I found lunch," and I'm like, "Good for you."
Haley and Becca did it for a little while. They would come home with all kind of stuff, like things from like the office supply store or you know
That's one of the hot ones.
yeah. But
I
most
mean, I
of the
know
dumpsters here are locked, so it's hard to. Now I did get from behind like CVS backs up to like the Dollar Tree, so the back of CVS is the front of Dollar Tree. So they had this stand. It was like a Powerade stand. It was a round metal black stand, and it was
hmm
just standing there. So we took it. A really nice little stand. I took all the little plastic inserts that said Powerade or whatever it was, and makes a really cool one. You know.
you probably could have sold those inserts on eBay. Every
Oh,
people buy such weird
I
things
know.
on
I threw them
eBay.
away, but you're right. She
Local, I
says
mean,
if it was sealed, she'd eat it, not thrown out hamburger stuff that she has to look through.
I, I get it, I get it. But I when I was young, a million years ago, I worked at McDonald's. That was my first punch a clock job. And I think I was 14 when I started. And they would throw away a lot of the food and it would be wrapped up. So,
Mhm.
like, occasionally, I want to say, like, probably a vagrant kind of person would go through the garbage and they would chase him away. And I'm thinking, why? Let him eat it,
Right.
Who cares if he's that hungry that
Exactly.
he's going to, like, go through the trash?
Even the
Let him.
Goodwill bin here is they have cameras on it. The dumpster. That's crazy. And they had this little man in it one day. I was in line at McDonald's, and you could see the dumpster for Goodwill, and they ran him out of there. It's like, really? What
I
harm
know.
is it? But a
I
lot of them are locked here, or they do compactors.
our Goodwill has a dumpster, and I think that they want you to not. I mean, they don't want you to go in it, obviously.
Mhm.
But I mean, some of the stuff they might be throwing away might be like icky, like
Right.
kind of icky stuff that they get. And believe me, I've heard some stories about icky stuff, so you don't really want
Yeah.
the icky stuff.
And I'm sure they have
However,
broken glass. Maybe they don't want anybody to get hurt.
I once found like a little teeny chip on the inside of a lid of something I was going to buy, and she's like, "Let me have that. I'm throwing it away." And that made me so mad because if she would have just said, "Well, take it for 50 cents," I would have been like, "All right,"
Right.
because I wouldn't have seen a chip. It was on the inside, but they're so wasteful. And
Hmm.
during COVID, they got so many donations that they had to almost close down the whole area. And I think people were just tossing the bags in the back or the side.
Hmm.
And I was so tempted to want to go looking through them.
Have you ever
But
watched Harry Tornado's videos?
maybe, but not recently.
Well,
I mean,
after the pandemic, he bought pallets for like $40 from Goodwill.
oh.
because they had so much stuff. They were just doing pallets for $40.
Was it just clothes or was it mixed
It was
goods?
all kind of stuff. So they had like garage sales, and I think they went through it and sold stuff, and yeah.
I remember back when KJ used to come around. She used to say that at her bins back around the COVID days, they would just have like whole garbage bags in the bins, and so she would kind of peek through and go to the bottom, so anything heavy would kind of fall to the bottom. And she
Mhm.
said she found entire bags of jewelry, and I'm like, that just made me so
Right.
like I was kind of jelly. But if you didn't buy it, they would have just tossed it in the trash. And she found like good stuff
Mhm.
occasionally, like seriously good stuff, like Tiffany kind of stuff.
Wow. I don't
And
find any good jewelry at um Goodwill. I bought one jewelry jar.
I
It was trash.
well, I used to buy on Goodwill.com, like shop
Uh-huh.
Goodwill.com. And a lot of times, like if I bought a lot of sterling silver, like a bundle of sterling, a lot of the things were not really sterling.
Mhm.
And a lot of the things that they said, they never mentioned like stones were missing from a lot of the, like some of the other smaller lots that I bought. And I found that to be very disappointing because a lot
Mhm.
of times if they take a photograph, you can't really see
Right.
every detail. And then it comes to you and it's like, ugh.
Right.
And so, do you know Brandon, the Midwest picker, and his mom?
Yes.
Well, his mom was on Victoria's auction. They get a lot of stuff from Shop Goodwill, but if it's really crappy, they complain and they get their money back, or
Oh
they.
wow.
And I'm like, well,
He
good for
is. I know.
you. I
I
never
haven't
thought.
seen his mom's stuff so much. I've seen Brandon's things and really nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He kind of knows like what states don't really search the jewelry so much. Okay, Victoria,
Bye,
take care.
Victoria. Thanks for coming, you and Larry. Bye,
Thank
Larry.
you. Yeah. So, you know, let's say I don't know what state it was, but let's say he knows like he got a good bag from I'll just say Wyoming. So he'll always
Mhm.
go back to Wyoming and like search their listings. And I wanted him to spill, but he was like he wouldn't he wouldn't share his good fortune.
Right.
Hi, Big Apple
Hi, Big
Stacker.
Apple Stacker. How are you? Thanks for coming.
How's it going? We should ask like where are they from? Where if you don't have to tell us if you don't want to, but if you want to tell us where are you? Oh, wait, he says Big Apple Stacker. That sounds like New York. Is that New York City? Big Apple Stacker? Because I'm
And you?
from New York City.
I was gonna say that's in
I'm
your neck of the woods.
I'm from New York. Yeah, I lived there many many years. So it's not like I was just. My friend was like, I'm from Long Island. I left when I was 4, and I'm like, okay, I get it. But I bet you don't remember much about it.
Right.
No, I lived. I I spent my most of my life in New York, and let me tell you, it was pretty expensive and dirty and crowded. So
Yeah.
too many
I
rats
have
in the cage, I
never
say.
moved. I mean, pretty much we've been in the same spot for all our life.
Wow. Well, I returned like I kind of I mean I was born in Manhattan, but my mom and dad lived in the Bronx, and I stayed with them. I mean, not with, I mean, I stayed with them when I was young, obviously, but there was a time when I was living away and I moved back, and then I got an apartment in the complex. So it was like a compound. And yeah,
Okay.
I sort of, for a long time, I mean, until they passed away, I never moved either.
He says New
Um,
York City, born and raised.
oh, Hell's Kitchen. I used to go down around there. There was some bar I hung, or had dinner. I don't know. I mean, if I just
New
say I went
York's
to a
in the
bar, it
Bronx.
sounds. Oh, you grew up in the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx. Yeah, I we we have like nicknames for our boroughs. I think. I mean, I know like my ex was from Money Making Manhattan. He used to say, I not that he made any money in Manhattan, but but the Bronx was boogie down, which I thought was funny because I never really went dancing in the Bronx. I mean, I know. I mean, I went out to eat in the Bronx. 161st Street. Oh, 161st Street. I is that where the that's near Yankee Stadium and the big Bronx courthouse. My dad is from there. My dad was from there. I mean, he's passed away. But he lived right across the street from Yankee Stadium, and he and his brother heard that speech when Lou Gehrig was talking about having, I guess, Lou Gehrig's disease, and it was very touching, he said. But yes. Okay, Leon. Leon's
Bye,
leaving.
Leon. Have a great day or evening.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
He's
think he
he's in
said
the
it was
UK.
4 o'clock there.
Where
So
we can gather. Like I think they're in England. They're like 5 hours ahead of us. So I mean, ahead of me in Eastern
uh-huh.
Standard Time.
Right.
Because I used to have friends that I corresponded with, and sometimes I'd catch them in the at various times in the day, and depending on their schedule, like sometimes I'd wake up early and then I'd catch my friends, and they were like, I don't know, it's hard to remember what was
Yes,
going on, but
Scarlett's probably making toasties.
she always says during Victoria she's making a cheese toasty,
She's making
and
cheese toasties. I wonder if that's what she's doing.
well, she would be done by now, I hope, or unless she does it for a living. She doesn't talk about what she does, or I would like for her to just come on a show, even if she doesn't want to show her face. I just want to hear Queens. Queens is faking, and Brooklyn is taking it, and Staten Island is forgotten, right? They called it Shaolin on some songs, but Shaolin, I don't know, but I live closer right now to Staten Island than any other borough, and by accident, oh my gosh, the Nav. I was going to Jersey City, bordering on Bayonne, and I put in like, give me the fast, like the least amount of distance to get there. They sent me through Staten Island, and I'm like, I had to pay the tolls. I was like, oh man. So you don't know, Dawn, but if you're on the turnpike, it's probably $6 to get to the bridge,
Uh-huh.
and then the bridge was like $16 or something. And I
Oh
was like, you
wow.
gotta be kidding me. And I'm like, it cost me like over $20 to go in my state, like down the road. I
Wow.
was like, that's not fair.
That's crazy.
It is
I
crazy.
know when
It's
we
like,
went to Florida, when you go all through Florida, all the way down to Orlando, there's a lot of tolls and stuff there.
I
Crazy.
don't, I resent having. I mean, well, you can go to New Jersey for free. They'll let you leave New York. They don't care. But it's like to come back. I guess
Right.
they tax you a lot, and even the train ride. Like Tony loves taking the train in. I hate it, and it's over $20 a ticket. That still adds up. I
Yeah.
would, and if we're both paying 20 for a round trip ticket, that's $40 or
Mhm.
more right away. And I said, we should just take the car in and take our chances. He
Yeah.
hates the idea of driving in, but I would do it
Mhm.
because I would rather have my car. I hate the idea of being on public transportation since I left New York. When I was in New York, I always took public transportation. But once you get used to driving around, you get spoiled.
Mhm. Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love getting into like the New York thing because my friend was like, she was being silly, and I go, "You want me to get Bronx on your ass? I'll do it, man." Like, I go, "Don't
That's
make me come up in there."
that's funny. Hmm.
Yeah,
Jeffrey
forget
said he
about it.
subscribed to your channel.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'll return the favor. But
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, I don't have any excitement. I live just in a small town between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, so that's where I've been all my life. So
yeah, I went to old. I see. James said he went
bye,
to old.
Glenn.
Oh, he's leaving. Bye,
Yeah.
Glenn. Have a good day. Yeah, I went to the old Yankee Stadium. What were you saying? I'm sorry, Dawn. You were saying something.
Oh no, I was just saying, no excitement here. I said, the only excitement we have is the Hurricanes. So
Well, you have Mardi Gras, and
yeah,
that's like
I don't go to that
that's a,
though.
but it's still a holiday, and it's still it's
You're
still
right.
something
It is
that's
a holiday
unique.
because we get off. The kids get off of school. They shut the post office down and everything.
Well, that's kind of like fun. I mean, I'm trying to think of anything special about New Jersey. New Jersey has weird food, and
Right.
it's so different from New York. It was crazy. I drove across a bridge, and then all of a sudden they're talking about pork roll, and I go, "Is that like an egg roll?" And they're like, "No, where have you been?" And I'm like, "I ain't been
Was it
here."
like a pork on a bun,
It's like
like a chop
it's called
roll?
Taylor ham, but they call it pork roll, and it's I don't know, and they mostly serve it like sliced thin and grilled up on a pan. So it's kind of like a side dish to breakfast, like bacon would be a side
Uh
dish.
huh.
Pleasant Avenue and 114th Street. I was born on, oh my God, 110th and Morningside Drive. And I lived with one of my exes, and it was 100, and I want to get it right. I think it was, if the train stop is 110, we were on the one block up, 111th Street on the west side between Riverside and Broadway, which was, you know, some of the buildings are so nice over there and some are not, but it was nice. I loved living there. They had it was great, fantastic.
Not many
And
people. Well, a lot of people don't say that they loved where where they were born and stuff.
well, like I said, I got very tired of it fast because I drop off my friend in front of, well, back when they had Blockbuster Video. I dropped off my friend, and it happened to be a bordering on a bus stop. And then like 2 hours later, I get like notice that I got a ticket, and I'm like, and it was written wrong because we had proof of when we were there.
Uh huh.
I was so angry. They're just so so oh, I know I'm changing because he said a famous restaurant, Rios. I don't know. Oh, Rayos is in Manhattan. Oh, so you were near that restaurant. I knew someone who lived near that restaurant, Reyes. Oh, I was more uptown. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know where that is. And we had a friend who lived right on the next block up from that place, and he moved to New Jersey, and then he moved to California. So people left, but Rayo's is a famous Italian restaurant. They have sauce now
Mm-hmm.
that they sell in the regular store, but it's usually like between $6 and $9 a bottle. So I've never tried it.
Okay.
And there, it was known to be a gangster hangout. So you needed to like make reservations usually with someone who had pull or for very much like long in advance,
Mm-hmm.
because you couldn't just drive up and go in. It's almost
Yeah.
like you had to get patted down to go in there or something. And one of my bosses in the past, she loved going there because she thought it was like, oh, so exciting. Like, ooh, I'm going to Rios. Yeah, 2 years ahead. Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow. That's
And
crazy.
it's like,
You're right.
can you imagine like making a reservation? It's that's worse than Disney World's like the Hoop-Dee-Doo review or whatever it's called. There's something in Disney World. I read like things you really shouldn't miss, and it's called something like that, the
Wow.
Hoop-Dee-Doo review. And there, if you make a reservation, it's almost like you have to do it a year in advance.
Wow.
It's like, is anything worth that?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
No, I don't think so at all.
I didn't even want to do that for my wedding. You know, I didn't want to reserve so far in advance. We, one of the guys was discouraging us from booking his place to like a year and a half in advance because he said, I don't even know if I'm going to own it then.
Wow.
I'm like, Phil, you have a point. So I
It's a
mean,
crazy world.
I'm getting married at a family run business that's not into weddings. It's a farm and we're renting the farm. I mean, and even though they do have weddings there, it's not their main business. Their main business is raising trees. And so I knew that they weren't going to go anywhere. I mean, I hope you're
Yeah.
waving. Who's,
Big Apple
oh,
Stackers.
he's, all
Thanks for
right.
stopping by.
Yeah, take care. Thanks for coming.
Wow.
Man, I, I don't even know if I would like Italian food in 2 years, much less. No, I mean, if I that would be exciting, but I would certainly forget about it.
I think it'll be fine.
Tony was asking me about my birthday that's coming up,
Uh-huh. It's coming, it's
and
coming.
I told him about like there's a nicer restaurant in my town, and I go, I like that place. He's like, oh, I like that place too. So
Oh, that's good.
I might end up getting a nice supper out of it. I should.
Yeah.
I should get a whole party. I am in September. But we'll, about
Having a big party.
I know.
So y'all gonna have a
Hopefully,
quiet dinner out for your birthday?
it better be. I don't like being around people anymore. I'm scared. I
I
hope we
know.
could be like in the corner somewhere. I hate when places don't want to send the waiter like 5 feet over, and then they put like people
Right
booth
back.
booth. Like, why can't you separate us a little? I mean, a little. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I still think it's kind of dumb with the COVID stuff because if you take off your mask to eat, the germs aren't going to then all of a sudden boo pop out. I mean,
Right.
it's so dumb. They make us wear the mask to the table and then you could take it off, and I'm like, that's just illogical.
I know. It is. It is. And well, they're getting ready to do away with that. So
I wonder what's going to happen. I have friends that are still not comfortable. I'm still not that comfortable going out into the crowded places.
mhm.
So I would prefer to wear my mask. But
Right.
if
Well,
other
my
people
mom, I mean, I
aren't,
do most of the time. Um, my mom does all the time. I mean, she's 82, so she does. Um, I don't
my
know. I mean, we're
Tony
all
doesn't.
compromised, as far as health wise. So,
I have had issues. I mean,
you know,
I don't have I want to say like I've had issues too. I'm considered on the list of
mhm,
things that would make you
right.
need the booster first or the shot first.
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
even though like I'm battling my health issues and I don't know what I still,
Right.
anyway, they consider me still like at risk. So I don't
Mhm.
I don't need to get that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just, I don't know. You don't know.
I mean, I kind of think I had it twice already, but like I had no proof because by the time I went could get the test,
Hmm.
it said I was negative. So at that point, I was fine.
Yeah. Haley said they just lifted the mask at their work, but they still wear them.
Yeah,
That's good,
it's
Haley, especially since
it.
y'all work in food.
Yeah, I mean, I would like even.
But if
I don't
Haley
know.
looks at a germ, she gets sick. So,
I think I'm with Haley on that. I mean, I don't like I think if there's still pandemic going around, and we're having waiters at my wedding, sort
mhm,
of waiters, if you know what I mean, like because it's still
right.
going to be buffet. I would prefer that people not get too close to the food or that the waiters wear a mask
Yeah.
if they're going to if they're and even wear gloves and stuff because
Mhm.
I have a lot of germaphobe friends and I'm a germaphobe to some extent. I'm saying to some extent, like I will always put alcohol on my hands after going into a thrift store and
Uh-huh.
any supermarket. And
Right.
most now it's every store. But back in the
Mhm.
day, I always wiped down the cart handles,
Uh-huh.
even back before the pandemic.
Right.
So now if I just touch it, I feel like, ugh, like,
Right. I agree, Haley. She said she thinks another wave is going to hit after Mardi Gras. I mean, you saw those people were shoulder to shoulder. Nobody had a
It's
mask.
crazy. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a super spreader event, and so was the Super Bowl, and so was like so many things that they're just not really paying attention to. And
Mhm.
when you see what other countries did at first to
Right.
get to knock it down, like Australia had a real big handle on it. For the first couple weeks, they made everybody stay in, and everybody did stay in, and
Right.
then they got it, they knocked it out. Even though, and I mean, a lot of movie stars that had come in and done talk shows said, "Oh, for the last 9 months, I was in Australia, and it was like normal, like
Mhm.
not like here in the
Right.
states,
Right.
because
Right.
they got rid of it to the point that it
Well, they
wasn't bad."
just now here opening like at fast food places, not fast food, like the gas stations, because they had all the drink machines shut down.
Oh,
So all that's open now, and everybody's touching, you know. I mean, you see them wiping frequently, but still.
not enough for my comfort level. And then they hand me a pen to sign something, and I'm like, I don't want to touch this. It's disgusting.
I know. It's almost like you
and
got
the
one pen with you.
and then like if at the pharmacy too, because people are sick besides the other risks. I'm always taking the, if they have the antiseptic wipes like right near the pharmacy, I wipe down the front area and I wipe down their machine, and they go, thank you.
I know my doctor has a dirty and a clean ink pen container.
But that's smart. And at the animal hospital where I
Hmm.
take my pets for their regular checkups and stuff and shots, they have that too, clean, dirty. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why is this not in every place that I go?
Right. Right.
So
Exactly.
stupid. And
Practice is still here.
and then they tell me like, oh, if you're going in to see the doctor, you need to take your temperature. And I'm like, it's like 30% of the people now get fevers and most people don't. Like, that's not a good indicator. You should have us take a rapid test if you're really
Right.
concerned.
Exactly.
Like, or just leave me alone and let me go in and tell them I'm here. I'll wear the mask.
I know.
And then they're always saying like do that thing with the cell phone. And I go, my cell phone died and I didn't bring it. I'm like, I can't.
Mhm.
I can't call you and tell you I'm here.
I
I'm
know.
yelling into the.
I signed into the portal yesterday to say my mom was at her appointment. So
Mhm.
she went inside and they called me on the phone to let find her. And I said, well, she's in there waiting. She signed in there.
Uh-huh.
Crazy. I mean, it just,
Yeah.
yeah, Haley had COVID 3 times and
Wow.
and never ran fever.
Haley, that's sad, Kaylee. I'm glad you're okay now.
Yeah. And,
Was any of them like, was it mild or was it like pretty bad? Because
she's
my
got chronic
cousin,
asthma. So, you know, she was my little croup baby. When she was young, she always had croup constantly. And but she
is
has
croup
asthma.
like whooping cough or is
It's
that
that
some?
barky cough that's more here than in your lungs, at the time it's like spasms and stuff. So she had that. And they would have to give you like racemephrine or something like that. And to get rid of it, like regular asthma medicines doesn't work for that. So
Yeah, my cousin had dinner with his um, son-in-law and daughter, and the son-in-law was the spreader
uh,
because he went. They lived in an apartment building in Hoboken, which is like another big city right across from Manhattan, and you
mhm.
could see Manhattan from there, and it's very pricey and nice and fun, but they were in a high rise, so they had to take elevators, and they were telling people take the elevator alone. And he said one time there were like these college kids in there, and they just said, "Oh, let's just go."
Mhm.
And that was the time he got it from
Yeah.
them, and he gave it to his wife,
Mhm.
but she only got a rash. And then my cousin up here, he's older than me. He got very sick,
Mhm.
but he also has a daughter who's a physician, and she put them in touch with a virologist. So
Uh-huh.
he had like people calling him on like messenger phone or like
Right.
FaceTiming. So he
Right.
was FaceTiming every day with the doctor.
Hmm.
I don't have that luxury, you know.
Right. Well, Haley still has smell issues from the first time she had it. Like
Oh.
she smells bad smells.
Okay, my cousin Charlie's wife Jane, she got a rash also, and all, well, like her daughter got, and her big symptom was everything smelled funky. She said, like she was very annoyed by smells, and I often get that everything smells
Hmm.
funky too, and I go, why do I have to live in a world that smells like stinky socks? It's like, why? But
Right.
some people say that that could just be like a sinus infection thing
Exactly. Bye,
or a
Jeff.
brain tumor. Well, who's leaving?
Jeffrey.
All right, bye, Jeffrey. Have a good day. Yeah, like the world of stinky socks is not pleasant.
Oh Lord, my
Or
daughter just moved back home. That girl's got some bad feet. Haley, I thought yours was bad, honey. Woo! Make her put her shoes
oh,
outside.
so you're actually smelling
Yes, we
stinky
are.
socks.
But I think Haley was smelling like things burning. She was like, I
Oh,
think she said she smelled like rotten meat. Is that right, Haley?
they say when you smell burning things that it could also be a symptom of like a stroke. So if you all of a sudden smell toast and there's no toast around,
She said she
and
smelled burning a lot.
and you have a headache, you should go to the hospital and get a check for an aneurysm. But gee whiz, who has the like luxury to just take?
I know, huh?
Well, I mean, but my I have friends who've told me, well, do you want to be dead or do you want to be alive and broke or whatever? You're trying to save $100
I know.
and then you die. You're like, okay,
Crazy. It's
well,
crazy.
I died thrifty. Like,
There you go. You're right.
I don't know why I'm laughing about it. It's such a sad situation,
I know.
but
It's crazy. The world is crazy.
I know. Ah, anyway,
I
can you
know.
believe we've been talking an hour and 12 minutes?
I know, and I think Haley's the only one left here.
We should do a little show. Like, I don't know. Like, oh,
Haley,
can
you
I?
want to come on?
Ah,
I'll send you a link.
come on, Haley. Let's see ya.
You want to come on?
Come on.
Oh, yeah. She said, yeah.
It,
All right.
good.
Hold on. Let me send it to you. I'm going to send it to
She's
your
gonna.
messenger.
That'll be fine. I'll get to meet Haley. Becca. Oh, Becca can watch it in the rerun, and we're gonna make. Oh wait, she's saying no, 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 no.
Oh, she don't
Now all
come
of a sudden,
on?
no. Bummer. Why?
Oh, Haley.
Oh, come on,
I'll
Haley.
send
Why?
you.
You put on a hat if you don't. If you think your hair's messed up,
I
okay.
know.
Put
She
on a
likes wearing,
hat.
she likes wearing hats.
She can hide behind the veil of like. You could turn the camera off and just talk if you want.
Fine. Okay. She said, fine. Okay. All right.
Oh, we bullied her. We're bullies. We're two old
I'm
lady
gonna
bullies. I'm
send it
sorry,
to
I
you
called you old.
messenger.
I'm not old. I'm just old. I'm not really old. I'm old in number, not in my mind.
Haley? It's not popping up. Oh, there you are.
Come on. It's like, come on, kid. I love A Christmas Story, and I start quoting things from there. You'll
All right.
shoot your eye out.
I know. Huh? All right, Haley,
When
I
the
sent you a
dogs
link.
go crazy, I say bumpuses. If you haven't seen the movie, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. Fragile, you know.
You got it, Hale? I sent it to your messenger.
Meanwhile, she's like, how does this work? Usually we hear like a bump, like a little bloop, and then you might see somebody in the little thing on the bottom.
It should have like a little what is it? A duck in the corner.
I'm wondering how people pop out the chat and but then I can't see your expression, or you know what I mean. If I put the chat up, when I was hosting, the chat was under our photographs, so I could read everything and still see you
Okay, you and
and see your face. Because
tablet
like,
though,
what if you're
right?
like, and and I'm like,
Right.
what's going on? Like when the chat's up, the screen's gray.
Let's see. Let me find Haley on here. Let's see. Haley. I sent you the link, Haley.
She's
Do you
like,
have it?
you have to click on it and then say copy and go, paste and go on your I want to say on your Safari, but that's only if you have an iPhone or
Yeah, she has an iPhone.
iPad. I'm looking at your milk glass behind your head, and I'm liking it. It's pretty.
I got this piece. Was it?
The,
Oh yeah. I got this piece Sunday or yesterday. Just
oh,
click
nice.
on it. I got it for $1.
Wow. Which piece am I going to put the M in? The Hershey Kisses in?
Oh,
No,
probably that one back there. Haley, just click, that link, just click on that whole link I sent you.
I know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do maybe a clear. I have that one clear bowl with the foot, and that could be.
This one I just got.
I think my dessert table might have some white stuff on it, but I think it's going to be eclectic. It's going to be a mix of colors and stuff. Haley said something. How do I do it? You click on the hyperlink that she sent you in your messenger,
With the duck?
and or if there's like a little square on the side of it, well, you click on it so it like pastes and just press paste and then put it in your Safari, like do paste and go. And so copy, paste and go kind of thing. And you'll eventually show up here. You'll show up. Where is she in Louisiana? Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I had an earthquake just now. I want to cross my legs.
Is it not working, Haley? I can send it again.
I want to play with my light.
Let's see. Copy.
Oh, how much light can I have that will drown out my wrinkles?
Messenger.
Or not? I remember like the girls who do like the makeup videos. They're like, let me get in close so you can see how it really looks. And I'm like, oh. I'm always so impressed how they look after they put their makeup on, though. It's like resend, she said.
Okay. I just sent it again.
Oh, I forgot to tell Victoria that I'm actually getting married in September, not August, and to not make her new meetup that week. Unless I keep thinking she's going to say that we're going to do a meetup in New Jersey and she's just going to stay up here.
Haley, that big square, baby, you should be able to just click on it. Where it says StreamYard.
And I've been looking for you, Dawn, like looking for cabins and stuff. And I mean, somebody was saying they stayed in those like cabins that have no electricity and no kitchen. And I'm like, they have a cookout place outside the cabin.
But if they don't have a bathroom, I don't want to
The
walk in
bathroom is it's like across the field.
No.
So it's not like right close. Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. The cabin I stayed at in West Virginia had a little kitchen and it had a little bathroom, but It had a bedroom too off the side.
Uh-huh.
So it was like a bedroom, and then there was a bed in the living space.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, but there were bigger ones,
Uh-huh.
and we had no cell phone service there.
Oh
So
wow.
but we had internet. So I thought I'd have to,
Haley, did you
I,
get it?
I would yell for help via the internet.
That
They said
reminds
it was
me
haunted.
when I was younger and I'd go camping with a friend. No, I don't want to revisit that. Like if it was one of those cabins that had, you know, a bathroom and a little kitchenette in it, and
I think I stayed at a cabin like they have in the parks near here once, and it was cold at night when we went because we were going at the end of October, and the weather changes already. They often get snow. It was freezing. They told us to put like blankets in our sleeping bag and maybe a blanket over, and my mother didn't do that. She just handed me one sleeping bag, and
oh
I was
wow.
shivering all night long. It was terrible. I was That was the worst weekend, but a memorable weekend. I
Uh-huh.
had such a horrible troop leader. It was
Yeah.
Girl Scouts.
I mean,
Oh, it
when
was
you're
horrible.
young, she created a thing. She thinks. Well, you still didn't show up, so I don't know. Normally,
Oh,
I just click on the
I'm
link.
looking at some. I'm going to show you something I see. I spy with my little eye. If I don't knock down this thing, looked on.
What? What? Where are you, Haley? I don't see you yet.
Look at what I found. Ooh.
Oh, list them, list them.
One isn't shiny and three are shiny.
I
But
have 5, I think, that are not shiny.
I might have more in a box somewhere. Those are just the ones I
Those
took
things
out.
go fast.
The little, yeah. I was so excited when you were showing me that. I go, the eggs are going every day. I see like orders and orders and orders for eggs. I go, do the
Yeah, that
eggs,
was
do the eggs.
crazy. Because I had the brown one listed. I took it down because I added in one of those lots. It's asking for Facebook info. I don't know that stuff. Huh?
Oh, if you just, oh, she's kind of registering with. It did that to me the first time, but my iPad knew the Facebook stuff, so I just.
Oh, you don't have Facebook on you. Do you have to have Facebook?
I don't know. I think you could have Google, but I'm not sure. I shouldn't quote
Can
them.
you
They
bypass
asked me.
that? Can you bypass that,
Yeah,
Haley?
you should be able to. Why do you need to have Facebook? Like that's the.
Right. You shouldn't have to have that.
You should just be allowed to come.
Now it says create a broadcast. No, you want to join a broadcast. Go back to that link and start again.
Yeah.
It doesn't just give you like a string of letters and numbers. It I don't know what it does.
It used to, I thought.
Uh-huh. Come on, Precious.
When I tried to click on the link you sent today, it
Uh-huh.
seemed harder to capture it for some reason, but I don't know why. Maybe it was just the angle that I have my iPad on or
No, you
something.
see, when I do it, it just like if I go and like I clicked on the one that Haley had. I don't know. Let's see, invite. I'll do it again. Let me
My
try it this
hopes are
way.
so high.
Let me try it this way. Copy to
I
clipboard.
want. I would love a beverage. I wish there was room service here. Back when I used to do Saturday night auctions, Tony used to plop food on my scale. And I'd be like, and then people would say, "What'd you get? Was it Taco Bell?" Because he would always get Taco Bell. It was kind of funny. It was pretty predictable. If it's Saturday, it's a taco. Not anymore, but it used to be.
Right. I sent it back to your messenger, Haley. Would it be easier if I sent it to your email?
Well, I need a funny name. I know you're busy doing this. I need a funny name for when I do the Sharon and Karen show.
Uh-huh. So would you have in mind?
What?
Would
What
you
did I
have
have
in
in
mind?
mind? Oh, but okay. They always say that I'm in the greenhouse with them, and that means you're not looking at me, but I'll
Wait,
show you
hold
what
on.
I'm looking.
She sent me. Wait, hold on. She sent me a text message. It's not. It's telling her to create a broadcast. I don't know, hell. It should be. I should just be able to send her.
The link for the show. Maybe. Oh, you can almost pop it out on the. Maybe you could pop it out on the in the chat, and then
Yeah,
she could just click on
let
it.
me do this, Haley. Try this. Now
And then
click on that. Click on that, Hale.
I can't believe that we'll get a lot of people jumping on arbitrarily. You can you can is it pin it or something? Whatever they call. I'm getting itchy. I'd like room service. I see beverages that are not beverages. Window cleaner, pledge. What else?
Haley,
I
you
have
see that
a
link?
wine glass.
You can click on it that I just put in the chat.
Click on the chat link.
Because you're the only one in here.
People are going to watch this in the future and say, why is she always touching her head? She didn't touch her head like once. And I'm like, it's like, oh, I can't tell. It's like backwards. And my hair usually goes
I
this
know.
way.
When you go to fix it on one
And
side,
then
it's on the other side.
it looks like it should go the other way on TV. And then I end up looking like, like, like what?
So what name do you think you want for the sharing? What is it called?
Well,
Oh, there she is.
she said I should put like pink hair on and be like, hi.
Hey, Lily.
How's it going?
Hey.
You're live on YouTube with nobody watching but us two.
So that link worked. The other
yes,
one did.
That worked.
Okay. You're in your game room?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So Suzy, officially, this is Haley. Haley,
Hi.
Suzy.
Hey,
how are you?
Others.
I was actually fixing breakfast.
It's kind of late, honey. It's almost lunchtime.
Well, yeah, it is.
Brunch.
Yeah,
Cool.
it is.
It's dark. Oh, there you go. Now I can see you.
No, well, that was the window. That's why. That's why.
Tony made breakfast.
They have a big game room in their backyard.
Oh.
So when one of them had COVID, they hunkered in there.
Yeah, it's pretty big. This is where we stayed at for the hurricane, pretty much.
When the hurricane came to New Jersey, they were telling us to seek shelter from the tornado. And my friend was like, aren't you sitting in your basement? I go, my basement is like a waterfall. Like the water was coming in from the back door and go like down into my basement. It was filling up with water. And I go, I'm not going down there to like wait it. I'm going to drown waiting for a hurricane.
A tornado. And she got affected by it. So that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah. And so I just said, she's like, so where are you? I go, I'm on my reclining chair in my living room like I normally am. And she's like, well, aren't you worried? I go, well, I'm not happy about any of this. But I mean, I had a puppy that I had just gotten Norton the week before. And and my backyard was flooded, my front yard was flooded, my house was flooded.
Wow.
And when he went out, he drank a puddle and then he got Giardia, and it wasn't fun. It was like not a fun. Nothing was fun. And then cleaning up after it was not fun. I still probably didn't clean out the basement 100%. There's still probably a couple boxes that I forgot to go through.
Wow.
And all the one of it was my mom's china, so it's probably all ruined.
You'd probably wash it. Use a magic eraser on it.
Probably.
This should be fine.
But someone said, "Oh, it could get moldy." I'm like, I guess.
Yeah. Well, just get it, wash it in some Dawn, and use a magic eraser, but don't erase the gold if it has gold on it.
It has gold on the edge.
Yeah, so magic erase everything but the gold.
Yeah. I'll figure something out. I don't know. I don't use that. I was showing it to Tony, and I said, should we use it at least once? And he said, we're not set up. We don't have our kitchen is so small.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could barely fit our mugs or our glasses in the cabinet. So anyway, and the cupboards I can reach are just so out of the way. I need like a chair to climb and get stuff. So we're not really equipped to have extra dishes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we don't eat fancy food, and we like to put stuff in the microwave to heat up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you can't use it for that. It'll definitely.
Someone called me bougie, and I'm like, how am I bougie? I go, if you really saw my place, it looks like a hoarder house.
That's what I call Precious, the little dog. I tell her she's bougie. She won't eat potato chips unless she's got dip on it, and she won't eat bread unless she's got butter on it, or she won't eat crackers unless she has butter on it.
Well, I was asking at an auction, does it have fragrance? Because I get migraines.
Right.
So almost everything I use, with the exception of products I have been using that I can take, because my deodorant has a fragrance, but it dissipates and it doesn't give me a headache, I think. But I've tried new ones that did, so I thought this one's safe. And
my mom got in the car yesterday. And my mom got in the car yesterday. I'm like, what do you have on? And it was her hairspray.
Oh
my God.
Well, she used half a can.
Well, yeah, she does. She does use half a can. And I'm sorry, Suzy, I cut you off, baby.
It's okay. I just like, but I'm at the auctions. If I'm gonna buy something to put on my face, I would prefer to have no fragrance at all.
Right.
Because it's so close to my nose. Don't they get it? And why does L'Oreal use so much stinky fragrance in all their products? And their products are good, but they're eliminating, I think, lately, like a big share of the market are people who want fragrance-free stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And you're sticking
since we're not sponsored by L'Oreal, even though I worked for them for a little while.
Right. That's it.
They make good makeup.
You want to end the broadcast and we can chat in the back room?
Okay.
All right.
Let's just say goodbye to anybody who might watch this.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere.
All
right, guys. Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it. And we'll be back next Thursday. And I think it might be on Suzy's channel next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.